Hi everyone, my name is EJ Bantz. I'm a Salesforce consultant. I own a Salesforce practice, and I'm also a registered Salesforce partner. And in this video, I just wanted to go over one of the new features in the Summer 20 release, and that is dynamic forms. All right, let's jump into it. I'll put a link to the release notes in the description. This feature is available in Group, Professional, Enterprise, Performance, Unlimited, and Developer editions. I'm not too familiar with Group. I think that one's been discontinued. This feature is non-GA, it's preview, so it's not intended to be used in production quite yet. But this is your chance to take a look at it before it is actually generally available, GA. They describe dynamic forms as giving you the following benefits. It's basically an instant upgrade from page layouts. You can just place a field in any section that you want. It's going to give you better performance because you don't have to have all of the fields on the screen, so you can just load the ones that you need to. The screens can also be dynamic, so you can have visibility rules that are going to hide and show based on criteria that you can define per field. And then it gives you a simpler way to manage the layouts. So you no longer even have to go into a page layout editor. You can just do everything within Lightning App Builder. So it's going to reduce the number of page layouts that you need and make things very simple. And it'll give you just like a single point of being able to control what your layouts look like instead of always having to go into page layout and define your fields and then add that to a Lightning page. You can just do everything inside the Lightning page, very simple. Well, the first thing that we have to do is actually turn on this functionality. So in Setup, go to the record page settings right here and dynamic forms. So it's the first thing that we see here, and we basically just turn it on. And then click Save at the bottom. So now that we have it turned on, we can start to look at some of the page layouts or the Lightning pages. So let's look at just like what an account looks like. And I'm not expecting this to look any different because this only works with custom objects right now. So I just wanted to jump in here and see if there was anything different on an account. And yeah, I mean, this looks pretty much the same as it always does. I don't see any other components in here. So we're going to have to set up a custom object. So what I'm going to do is just quickly create a custom object, and I'll just fast forward through this so you don't have to watch. All right, so we've got a custom object set up here. It's called a printer. It just has a couple of fields on here. Printer name is just the built-in name, and then I added a filament size, 1.75, and if it has a heated bed. So we'll just create a sample record just so that we have something to tinker with. So let's get into the Lightning page here. So yeah, at first glance, it kind of looks the same, but now on the right here, we can see this. Oh, we get the option to upgrade. So yeah, that's what we were looking for before. So yeah, let's upgrade it. And yeah, so it's just kind of giving us the introduction of what dynamic forms is all about. And let's continue. Okay, this screen is asking us what page layout do we want to build the dynamic form from. So basically it's going to take, I think, like the first 100 fields and add them to the dynamic form. And it's saying even if some of those fields were required but didn't fit, it's only going to grab the first 100 and then you'll have to deal with it from there. So let's just continue. And there's our dynamic form. So These are the fields it automatically brought in. It makes an accordion for you. And here you can set visibility for a field. So let's just tinker with this real quick. Let's say if the filament size is 1.75, then we'll see this heated bed field, for example. So yeah, let's do that. And then let's see how that functions. We'll save it. We'll have to activate it. So we'll just make it the default. Continue and continue. And then we'll back out of it. Thank you. Don't want to see that. Okay. And yeah, so let's edit this page, and then let's try changing the value, and wow, look at that, it goes away. That is pretty cool. So yeah, I can see a lot of cool things with this feature. So let's take a closer look. Let's edit the page again, go back in, and look at these fields. So the fields are stored on a component. So this is the new one called field section. So what we could do is maybe change this accordion to have another section. So I think that's a common thing where maybe you only want certain fields to show in certain sections. So this is something that we could do now. So let's create like another accordion section, and we'll call it something like more fields. And then this is a place where we could maybe just grab one of those existing fields and plop it in there. So this fields tab is the new thing. So this is where we get access to the field section we can drop on. We can configure the columns that it supports, and then we can drop these fields in there. I don't have a whole lot of fields to play with here because I just created the two, but so I guess this is just an example. So let's take a look at that. And yeah, so there's the more fields, and yeah, so just an example. You can now, just build your page however you want it to be, and not just limited to one giant detail area. And maybe, I think I've done like action, like update action components to maybe have like up to eight fields. So you don't have to use that kind of workaround anymore. Now you can just build them however you want. It's pretty cool. So that's all I have for this one. Tomorrow I'm going to go over, so now that the page layouts kind of go away, you have to deal with how you configure your actions. And there's a new feature related to having dynamic actions in the highlight panel. So I'll cover that tomorrow. All right, thanks a lot. Have fun.